New information is uncovered involving a car accident, a woman from a 50-year-old cold case identified, and a new pay raise plan for teachers. That and more today on APSU TV News. Welcome to the latest episode of APSU TV News. I'm Bartee with your weekly news update. Clarksville police have new information about the 12-year-old girl who was hit by a vehicle on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard Saturday night. Clarksville police spokesman Scott Bobian says the girl has been listed in critical condition, but is now in stable condition. Investigators say the girl ran out into the road near Reddon Road and was hit by a vehicle. She was later flown to Nashville by a life flight helicopter for treatment. A woman from a 50-year-old cold case in Massachusetts has been identified as Rue Marie Terry of Tennessee. Steve Cooper has the latest.
We have identified the oldest unidentified homicide victim in Massachusetts, known as the Lady of the Dunes.
A stunning announcement from FBI headquarters Monday, nearly 5 decades in the making, involving the murder of a woman whose body was found in the dunes at Race Point Beach in Provincetown in July of 1974.
Today, over 48 years after her murder and discovery, we can finally say her name, Ruth Marie Terry.
Ruth Marie Terry was 37 and from Tennessee, but with ties to Massachusetts. Her body discovered minus her hands, removed, investigators say, by her killer, so she couldn't be identified through fingerprints.
Ruth Marie Terry was murdered nearly 50 years ago, and the heartless coward or cowards that killed her left her body behind in the Cape Cod National Seashore.
A brutal murder transformed into a cold case until investigative genealogy led to the victim's identification.
It's a methodology where we're using DNA analysis in conjunction with genealogical research, as well as other historical family records and research and things related along those lines.
Now asking for privacy, Terry's family, including her son, were just notified about the break in the case as investigators turn their attention to who did this and why.
It's very likely that, the person who did this is dead, but they may not be. And so the message to them, if they're still out there, is we're coming.
Local teachers and support staffs could see bigger paychecks if a new pay raise plan is approved. Clarksville Now reports the school system chief financial officer, Chris Ren-U, presented the plan for a 5% mid-year pay raise to the school board Tuesday night. If approved, the district would use $7 million from its fund balance to cover the raises. The Biden administration is working to help with heating costs for what's expected to be a brutal winter. The White House said Wednesday it is making $4.5 billion available through a low-income home energy assistance program. Spending for the program is significantly higher than the typical annual funding of the $3.5 billion, but far below the $8 million the administration and Congress Democrats delivered last winter as part of the president's COVID-19 relief package. The money spent last year was far the largest appropriation in single year since the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program was established in 1981. The money will be provided to state, local, and tribal governments to help more than 5 million families pay heating and utility bill costs, and also be used to make home energy repairs. We'll be right back with the weather forecast after the break.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Good afternoon, I'm Madalyn, and let's look into the weather. It's perfect right now with the temperature of 76 degrees and the wind blowing south at 13 miles per hour. Let's look into tonight. So tonight it'll be a little chilly, so you might want to bring your jacket, but the wind will be blowing south-southeast at 17 miles per hour and the temperature of 65 degrees with a little bit chance of rain. Let's look into this week's. So this weekend, it'll be perfect with a high of 68 on Saturday, but a chance of rain. A little chilly at night with a low of 46. At Sunday, it'll be a high of 76 and a low of 55, but it'll be partly cloudy, so sun won't be a little shining there. Then going into the next week, it'll be partly cloudy and a chance of rain on Monday with a high of 77 and a low of 54. And then on Tuesday, it'll be sunny. It's perfect weather of a high of 76 and a low of 54. And we'll be right back with sports.
Wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org. Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Good afternoon, Jahmar here, and welcome inside the Sports Zone. A lot of action going on this past week, but first I want to talk about our Austin Peay football game. The Govs had a devastating loss to the Jacksonville State Gamecocks this past Saturday, 40-16. It was the Governor's first home loss this season. They received their first loss ever at home as a ranked team after being 7-0. One of the biggest takeaways from the game was a new field goal record set by sophomore Maddox Trujillo at 55 yards. Looking at some of these highlights, it shows that it was the defense of the Gamecocks that really gave the Govs trouble. The Govs will look to bounce back this weekend as they take on North Alabama on the road this Saturday. Basketball season is back in action. This week, the men's team took on Fisk University in an exhibition matchup. The Govs won by 25 points, winning 89-64. They were led in scoring and steals by Missouri transfer Sean Dura-Gordon with 24 points and 4 steals off of the bench. Former OVC Freshman of the Year Elijah Hutchins-Everett also finished the game with 13 points while going a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. The basketball team will be on the road this Monday as they'll take on an ACC foe in North Carolina State at 7 p.m. Our women's basketball team are also in action last night in an exhibition matchup against the Tusculum Pioneers, where they won 80-47. And they trailed by 1 point in the first quarter, but after that, they showed complete control of the game. Shamari Hale, the transfer out of Wright State, had a double-double with 12 points and rebounds coming off the bench during the contest. The second member of the Wright State transfer duo, Jada Robertson, also had 12 points off the bench. The women's basketball team will be back at home for the first official matchup of the season this upcoming Monday at 6 p.m. against the Phoenix out of Cumberland University. Staying in the Dunn Center, the Govs volleyball team will also look to have some fun this weekend with 2 special events. First up tonight at 6, it's a blackout game against Kennesaw State, and tomorrow it's going to be Senior Day where the Govs will recognize 6 seniors. The Govs currently sit at an 11-12 record, and with 4 games left in the schedule, they'll look to finish off with a positive record. As far as Governor Sports, that's going to do it. Once again, I'm Jahmar Perkins, and stay tuned for more news here on APSU TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
You want change. You want a community that supports you. You want the knowledge it takes to make a difference in this world. It's time to be more. It's time to be better. It's time to grow. The world you want to see starts with you. The life you want begins at Austin Peay State University. Learn more at apsu.edu.
Austin Peay's Veterans Upward Bound will be honoring our veterans next week. The Veterans Day celebration is set for November 10th in the Elton Building from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in room 327. There will be food and a chance to win prizes for the men and women who have served our country. You can do more than shop at this year's Fall Vintage Fair at Beach Haven Winery. You can also sample local wines and listen to live music. Explore booths offering everything from antiques, furniture, handmade goods, and more. Wine tasting, local food, and relaxed atmosphere make this the perfect Sunday. Admission is $5 for adults, and children ages 12 and under are free. That's all the time we have for you today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at APSU TV Clarksville and Instagram at APSU_TV. Thank you for watching APSU TV News Update, and as always, let's go Peay.